In the heart of downtown Los Angeles, inside a converted textile building, away from the hustle and bustle, lies my sanctuary, otherwise known as my kitchen. Hey y'all, I'm Anja, and I'm totally excited to be a contributing columnist for Eating with Abs. If you want, you can check out my blog to get a better idea of why I find plant-based nutrition so beneficial and downright rad. But how do you jazz up those veggies for even the pickiest of eaters? You get saucy, and I'm here today to share with you one of my favorite recipes inspired by the Native Foods Restaurant Cookbook by Tanya Petrovna, Gandhi's curry sauce. So this recipe for Gandhi's curry sauce yields about 2 cups. You'll need 1.5 cups of coconut milk, 1 cup of fresh cilantro leaves, 1/4 cup of safflower or sunflower oil, 1/4 cup of liquid aminos or tamari sauce, 1/4 cup of maple syrup or agave nectar, 2 garlic cloves chopped, 2 tablespoons of curry powder, 2 teaspoons of grated fresh ginger, 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red chili, and this is optional and you can boost it up or spice it down. Place all of these ingredients in a blender and puree. So I like to make this sauce just all in the blender, keep it super easy, and you start with about 1.5 cups of coconut milk. I like So Delicious coconut milk, unsweetened. It's a little bit lighter than canned coconut milk. You can totally use canned coconut milk if you want to, and then you'll need to add probably about 1/2 cup of water if you choose to do so. This keeps it a little less fatty and still keeps all of the flavor. So our next ingredient is going to be about 1 cup of loosely packed cilantro leaves. I've already de-leafed the cilantro, but I saved a couple to show you how easy it is. You really just hold them from the top and pull down. I would say that's about 1 cup. So our next ingredient is about 1/4 cup of safflower or sunflower oil, and I just so happen to have safflower oil today, so that's what we're using. It's 1/4 cup. Just add it to the blender. So now we're gonna add about 1/4 cup of gluten-free tamari. You could also use 1/4 cup of soy sauce or Bragg's liquid aminos, which is a little less salty. It's sort of up to you and your own tastes. And now we're going to add about 1/4 cup of maple syrup. I like certified organic, grade B, but you know, it all depends on what you like. You could also use 1/4 cup of agave nectar or really any kind of sweetener that you're into. And add it to the blender. And now we're gonna add 2 cloves of chopped garlic. I've already done all the chopping. It's right here ready to go. You can also add more if you want to. I probably have like 3 to 4 cloves in here because we really like garlic in this house. It's kind of up to you. And now we're going to add 2 teaspoons of fresh grated ginger, which I already grated. That's probably more than 2 teaspoons, but again, like I really like ginger, so I go a little overboard. So now we're gonna add the curry. I get my curry from a local, organic, all-natural bulk food store. You'll find that it's way cheaper than buying it in those little expensive spice jars. If I can get the packaging open. So it's about 2 tablespoons. There we go. Now for our final ingredient, I'm using New Mexico ground chili pepper. Sort of, you know, it's really all up to you what kind of red pepper you like and also how spicy you want the curry. Most curries are actually pretty mild. Most of the jarred variety. I like mine a little spicier, so usually I'll kick it up a little bit more than 1/2 teaspoon. And now we're all ready to go. Let's get it over to the blender. So you basically just want to keep blending it until you see the little bits of cilantro chopped up, and they'll always kind of float on the top. Don't worry about that. When you cook it on the stove, it's all going to mix together. Pour it in and heat it up to a simmer. And usually it just takes a couple of minutes. heat up. You want to see it right before it starts to bubble. You definitely don't want it to bubble. It should be steaming, it should be hot. So now we're all done, and I'm making mine a meal tonight by layering a bowl with a little bit of brown rice and some steamed cauliflower, carrots, yellow squash, broccoli. I stir-fried some shallots with asparagus and red pepper and steamed a little bit of kale with some homemade seitan. And just put a scoop of the curry sauce on top. And bon appetit! So I've stored my curry sauce in glass jars like this for up to a week in the fridge. I like to have homemade whole food sauces on hand ready to go at any time. So like Gandhi always reminded us, we need to be the change we want to see in the world. And I try to infuse that into my everyday practices, including cooking up a big hot bowl of vegan bliss. Thanks for watching.